Good evening, everybody. Welcome to BP Live with Ren and TSM. I'm TSM, and hi, Ren. Good evening, mate.
Hey, good evening, Mark, and everyone around. Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in our little blue planet.
On the little blue planet of chaos, at the moment it seems. Right, so you can see the screen in front of you. Yeah, tonight is Tribunal. It's the raid, the last one of the Zealot raids. Okay, before we move on to the next one, which we'll cover in a minute. So first things first, Ren. How are you? Are you prepped? Are you good to go? How's the fleet?
I'm ready, good to go. My Zealots are now X1. They have been all X1 and everything done. I didn't change the build really after the first raid. I just kept upgrading them. The flagship X1 took like 9 days, but now it's been all done for about 5-6 days.
And where did you settle on countermeasures in the end? What did you end up with, just out of interest? How many?
I have 2 ships with 2 MDS-3 each. So I have 4 in the fleet, and then those 2 have CML4. The other 3 ships don't.
That'd be quite good. Nice little challenge between you and So I ended up just leaving the 2 countermeasures with the countermeasure loader on the flag, and the rest I went all 4. I went for full power. So yeah, I mean, it may be a mistake, but it didn't do too bad last time. And they've said, as it's in the notes there, that they haven't upped the damage in the targets. Let's see, shall we? We'll find out in half an hour.
Well, did they actually say that? I understood that as them just saying, hey, we've changed the mechanic of those circles, the aura. The way they move is going to be different, but the damage on them is the same. I don't think
the damage is the same. Yeah,
the entire target is the same.
No, I got a funny feeling that there'll be creepage, and the targets are different, aren't they, this time as well? We don't have the extra target, the pun 2 target, do we? Or is that in
No, not anymore. That was just like probably an experiment they did last month, and let's see if the next raid, being a skirmish raid, if they're going to have 1 Zealot target to complete the set. I don't know if that was a successful experiment, because my thinking was they were going to have the target there on its own for people without the Zealots ready to score points, but they actually made it mandatory for everyone to do all of them to get the bonuses. So I don't know. Do you want to see that again next month?
I think it's helped people, because obviously that fleet had finished and been completed, and it justified why they sort of finished it off. Although in the long term, it probably then makes things worse for you, because then you're not starting the next fleet. It's a chicken and egg, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to have seen a Punisher target last month that would give some decent points, more than the A set below, right? But isolated, not something that now you're still obligated to use your Punishers to complete the set. That I didn't like.
Yeah, that's a valid point. So yeah, anyway, so we've got targets. I mean, they're not perfect, but yeah, so there's only 1 massive co-op target at the top this time, and I think it's 1.25 million. I think we'll look at that in a second for the points. And then obviously there's the 2 individual targets then for the S class, and that is it. Both of them giving you bonuses if you've got all the top fleets. So but there are obviously there should be the same targets as last time for the lower tiers, the Bravos and Charlies and that sort of stuff. So it shouldn't be too bad. But obviously you go out on the map, you search for the target, and it tells you exactly which fleet to hit with. So it's not horrendous.
No.
Prizes. Okay. After I spoke to Heavy on the weekend, we know this is a Forsaken Hull, which is great, because as I spoke to Ren earlier on, that means all the available, unlike the corrosive, all the relevant blueprints are now in field, i.e. they're all going to do their job. So if you've got one that says like salty dogs and that sort of stuff, you get the turn bonus, you get the reload bonus and that sort of stuff. There's some really good ones, and level 1 salty dog does it as well. You haven't got to roll the blue one, you can roll the level 1 star one as well, and it will give you the same bonuses. You're only missing out on the time 3 VXP. It's times 2. Well, we don't care about that because it's raiding time. So when it comes to that next time, it'll be really, really helpful to use that crew and others. Yeah.
I was just to say, it's probably going to be ranked by the first raid, but if it's not, skirmish targets actually pay out some VXP. So Salty Dogs gives you the reload and turn bonuses, as you said. And again, unlike the Zealot, where there's no crews protecting against corrosive damage, this one is explosive and concussive. So all crews are at play, except stuff like Dragon's Layers that are only for Draconian hulls. That won't work.
Yeah. But if it's got a splash bonus, if it's got a reload bonus, if it's got specific to Forsaken, which is one of the very first hold tights, then everything's in play, which is nice. So it's relevant and it's there. Have a little look around, and I'm sure you'll have come up with a video, because I know you're going to do another video for builds later on once we get them up and running after VXP. So, and that's something I was going to move on to. We literally don't know how to finish these ships off yet. There are so many options. I know I was talking to Derpy about it. I was talking to you about it. I was talking to various people. There are certain areas that we just don't know. Do we have to worry about loads of incoming torpedoes? Do we have to worry about clusters of ships? Do we have to worry about it's reload over evade, or is it evade over movement? And so there's a couple of grey areas that really you can't say this is my definitive hull. We don't know how many countermeasures to go for this time. It was completely different, wasn't it, compared to the riots of the previous skirmish hulls. So interesting times, and we've come up with different builds, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
but I think on the plus side, here are the things we know. We know we're going to put 8 weapons and maybe 2 countermeasures. So leave the 2 slots at the top empty, but the other 6 we know we put the weapons. And if you can't put the limited one, better, because it's more powerful. If you can't, you can use the drum roll, which you have on the screen right now, as the regular, cheaper version. You'll be losing about 20% damage output when you compare one with the other.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark. I was just gonna say. So we know about the weapons. We know about. I think 4 specials are pretty much a no-brainer. The 2 new specials are no-brainers, I think. The Reef Rider engine is probably a no-brainer. Although you and I discussed about using the sync drive, and there are some benefits on that, right?
Yeah. I'll put I call it the mutt. So let's take this one off a second. I think calling it a mutt's quite amusing. So something along that sort of line. Forget armors, because don't put those on obviously for VXP. But yeah, I mean that's debatable. That's also debatable.
I think the Hyper 30 is debatable. Probably the full metal casing probably will stay there. Probably. But the other 3 are, I'm going to say I'd be certain of them. I'd be using those 3.
And like I said, I don't think I'm going to go with 5 ships the same already, although I did on the riots. It just depends on, because obviously you don't have to have countermeasures up here. Now I've gone for obviously one of each, the Cormorant and obviously the Gale. What if I can evade by driving the explosive? Just think back to some of the previous skirmisher raids, and good driving gets you out the way of all that stuff. So actually you can either go for another Gatling gun, or you can go for 2 Cormorants on a ship instead. It just depends really. Yeah. Anyway, there's interest and it's good. So I don't think anybody's come up with a definitive answer yet. I've got a rough idea. It seems like the average build time is about 15 days, 6 hours. For a full hill.
I'm just going to make a comment. That's misleading, because we know we're going to build empty and refit, and then the equipment, the time to equip all the specials, weapons, and armor goes down by like 30%. So it's going to be probably something like 11 days. Right? Naked is 4 days, 15 hours, which is about 14 hours more than the riot. Naked.
Yeah.
But then to equip all the stuff is probably going to be 8 days or 7 days more when you account for all the refit bonuses.
Yeah, if you've got all those refit bonuses established and that sort of stuff, and you've got an alliance that helps you out as well. But I found it virtually online with the Zealots. Did you? That was my gut feeling when I looked at it. A raw
Pretty
build.
Much, yeah.
Within a couple of hours, and this has got more weapons than the Zealots, so it's not too bad. Anyway, we'll go back to the forum quickly. Sorry. So in fact, no, we won't do that. What we'll do is we'll just nip across quickly, because we'll just finish off on this. I apologize, I can't remember whose spreadsheet this is, but the key individual parts there, when we looked at what are the new items, which is obviously down on the side here, and then what we think we need to collect, and I've added in the structure build tokens because they're always handy, but we can take those out, and it basically says you need 42 million points if you want to get everything at the top end, and that's enough, as Ren mentioned. Do you want to mention about the upgrade kits, Ren?
Yeah, the thing with the upgrade kits is just that Kixeye offers way more than we need here, so be careful. Do not redeem them all, because you won't need them all for a few reasons. First of all, if you only look at taking the 4 ships, because these kits do not apply for the flagship, they're only for the 4 regular ships. So you need 100 kits per ship to get them to U3, and then 160 more to get them to X1 when it comes. Right? So even if you only think about U3, you need a total of 400 kits, meaning either you get the 40 redemptions of the packs of 10, and that gives you 400, you're good, you're done. You don't need the packs of 50, right? Or you go and you take 8 packs of 50, which also adds up to 400, and you're good to go on U3. Unless you're going to coin up to X1 right now, then you want to get the extra 240. In what case you want 640. So even then, you get all the packs of 50, that's 500. And now you only need 14 packs of 10, not 40, just 14. And you're at 640. And that's all you need to get 4 ships to X1. Now, again, if the raid is easy for you, go and get the kits, like I said, 10 of 50, 14 of 10. If not, we know there will be a TLC. That TLC will have mastery levels. And in the past, all of these TLCs have given you even more kits. So my plan, I'm only going to get the 400. And I'm going to rely on the TLCs to give me the rest when I complete them. Either way, because I'm going to want the tokens.
Yeah, there will be a
TLC. Those kits don't go to waste.
So, so all those items there, if you're not thinking about your PvP stuff and that sort of stuff, I've noticed across there then, so including obviously all the bonuses that you get doing that set, it's 42 sets, which it's 6 sets a day, sort of stuff, 6 and a bit sets a day. If you did 7 sets a day, you're more than covered, and that hopefully, if you've got a good set of zealots, I reckon you could probably do that for nothing, to be honest. If you manage to get time to do it in the morning before you go to work, do it in the evening, and then do it late at night, maybe. With a bit of luck, you should be able to get those cracked out. But we'll find out, because it's going to be doing a live stream literally in about 30 minutes. Oh, sorry, about 15 minutes, in fact, time going on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's that. Let's move back to the other screen quickly, because we've got a bit of things to talk about. Right. So that's it for raiding. We're not going to go any deeper than that, because Hefe does that on his show. So we're not going to steal his thunder, because that would be inappropriate. The thing I was going to talk about, which was mentioned a little bit quickly, Ren, was medals win versus medals lost. If I jump in the game quickly and then look at some battle logs, I mean, I don't win anything or everything, but I do look at some of the battle logs. So here we go. There's an individual, who destroyed my base because I tried setting up for one ship and it obviously got walked by warhounds. I'm not bothered about that, to be honest. But
I'm finding it hard to strike the perfect balance as well.
It's a nightmare.
At some point, I was warhound proof.
Yeah, me too.
The hellswarms were getting me. Now I'm like killing more of one. It's always something.
I've sort of stopped now. But the point is, look, he's on 499 medals. Okay, then he managed to take off 10. It doesn't ultimately matter. It's the ratio, because people are asking, particularly when we come to lose medals, if you're the defender of a base, it's quite straightforward that and let's go back to a victory one where, there we go, there's a +1. I only got 1 medal for defending my base. Okay, but that's because he's down at 366. Okay, I can't really take off 19 medals and that sort of stuff because he's considerably lower than me. And it's the same concept if the person's higher than you, when you go to hit their base, you get a good amount. But if he's lower than you don't get anything at all, or a very low amount. Sometimes you get nothing. It just depends.
Yeah.
So defending's the same
when
thing.
You're the attacker, right? If you attack a base, if you go and attack that guy, and you have, I think, 450, and he has 330.
Nothing.
You might get a medal, or maybe you won't get any. You got to hit people who are around the same number of medals you are, or higher.
I think it's
actually win medals.
I think the best is it's plus or minus 50, but don't quote me on that. But it has to be close. I know that. I'm pretty sure it's plus or minus 50. Well, that's
plus minus 49 is the most I've seen.
Yeah, and maybe it's plus or minus 49. But it's just that obviously you're getting medals now for base defending, and it's going well. But people are thinking, why didn't I get my 19 medals? Well, because it's in a ratio. That's all I wanted to say, basically.
Yeah,
it's proportionate to the amount of medals they've got compared to what you've got, sort of stuff. And while we're talking about that, we had a question from on the TFC from Gary Brown. It said, it'd be good if you could cover quickly how the alliance points help during raids. So I thought we'd do this, and Nobby will probably laugh when I show this, but this is our little alliance, okay? And here are obviously the alliance bonuses that the alliance leader selects per week as he sees fit. If you're a small alliance, you have to be very picky on what you choose. Big alliances, they just max them all out and get 10 people in each. Small alliances have to be quite fussy. some of them are really good. So like this one here, the gunnery one is obviously gives you ship reload, so you get reload times. If you get all the bonus up for that week, then you'll get a 10% ship reload, and your accuracy goes up by 20%. It's a hidden stat, but it is a stat. That
Yeah,
one's
just a reminder, like these numbers will not show up in your dock or in your shipyard. They're applied dynamically during battle, right? And even let's say for the mutineer next month or for the zealot now, that accuracy bonus, you might say, well, but scatterguns are splash, so I don't care about the accuracy. But remember, you're using countermeasures, and they are accuracy based, and it helps them too.
Yeah, very much so. And the other one that people don't realize as well is this one here, like the armors, particularly in compound type, you're getting an evade bonus as well, which could help us in skirmish, and could,
Yep.
yeah, and it could help you when you're doing base hitting as well. So there are some interesting ones out there. Some of the ones are completely pointless, like this one up here, which basically gives you blueprint, unless you're really really low. Gives you blueprint bonuses, which is I can't get it to stick up. There we go. A
Yeah.
blueprint drop by percentage, for a decent drop and what loot you get and that sort of stuff. But some of
I
them
say scavengers and the rocketeers are the two least important overall.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Some of them are a little bit awkward. This one's quite good sometimes. Turn speed. If you've got a fleet that's really really fast, but not so good on the turn speed, and you want to use a different crew as opposed to using the evade crew, then you can use this one as well, and that helps you. Gives you 10%. I think it's either 10 or 50% evade speed,
Yeah.
which is it all helps. In general terms, and obviously this one can help massively if you're in base defense. Turret defense obviously helps a little bit, and turret reload particularly. I think that goes up to 10% as well. So
Yeah, I'm not even sure turret defense still applies because
I,
nowadays it's no
yeah,
deflection, and that defense was percentage based. That bonus I think has no use anymore. But the reload rate, of course, I mean, if your turret's reloading 10% faster, you're killing 10% faster. It helps.
yeah. And look, I did do my alliance points this week. There we go.
Good for you.
so,
Attaboy.
so one little thing I can do. Right, that's good. So planning for next raid cycle. What thoughts, mate?
Sorry, before we move on,
Yeah.
since we're talking about
Oh,
bonuses, do you want to show the tactical lab?
yeah. I will. Sorry. Here we go.
Go the upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
No, gotta
Sorry.
go the
Yeah.
upgrade.
Yeah. Sorry. Because this is actually definitely worth showing. Let's scroll down
Yep.
there. This one down here. This bit. Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to upgrade the tactical lab. Well, first of all, because at lower levels you get an extra damage bonus, a flat bonus of 20,000 damage on all of your turrets. That helps a lot. You also get some extra map speed, so it's more time playing, less time moving around. But the newest one is the last one. That one comes with the latest levels of upgrades. And it gives for the 4 PvE classes, Assault, Garrison, Siege, Skirmish, it gives them an evade bonus, which I think goes up to 20%.
A hidden stat again. Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep upgrading, I think it goes up to 20% extra. So if you have your ships at 60% in the dock and you have this one fully upgraded, you're getting extra 8%. It's 20% of the 40% you don't have. So now you go from 60 to 68 in battle. And believe me, that saves you in repair time more than sometimes some extra defense.
Yeah, which means you could
Survival.
actually, and you could then select a different crew if you so choose to give you a different type of bonus because you've got that inherent built-in, unseen stat, but you know it's there sort of stuff.
Yep.
So it's quite handy. So there are various things that can help, and that's why people go, "Well, why are your ships? Why it's built the same, but they don't seem to be hitting as hard, or they don't seem to be turning as quick." It's all to do with being an alliance or having upgrades done in your base and that sort of stuff. So there are some black arts when someone goes, "Oh, I can't quite get the same time as you managed to get that target down," or the FM is a classic example. Why can't I hit the 141? It takes me longer to pull down those turrets, or that ship is just eluding me. It's because of this. So it's the whole wrap and understanding the math of the game yet again. It's all about maths. This game.
Yeah. And the other funny thing is, like every Monday, I see one or two on the pages saying, "Oh, I think XI turned up the damage on the targets," and we go like, "No, man, it's just the alliance bonuses have reset, and you lost all of those bonuses now. So your ships are less powerful until your alliance gets the bonuses again."
Yeah, it happens on the Monday for the raids as well, doesn't it? So it's
Yeah, that's why if you're in a big alliance and you get at least the most critical bonuses, like you showed the gunner and the defender, the armor, you want to complete your raid by Sunday if possible, because Monday you will take more damage until the alliance gets the bonus points again.
These two are the raiding ones if you're going to get to. I mean,
agreed.
you know. And then there are other ones you can pick up if you want to get across the old days. We used to have to look out for lots of different things on the sea and charge this target and charge that. The old numbers raid we used to have. That was a really good really good, because it gives you map speed, so you can zoom across
Yeah.
the map much faster. But there are other things now
So
that do that for you. But it does give you turn speed as well, which is nice.
yeah. Would you agree number one is gunner, number two is armorer, number three is navigator from a PvE perspective?
Absolutely, yeah. And the rest of them, if you're not a
Yeah.
PvP person, then don't worry about them. Anyway, so that's it. Those are the bonuses, and it is really important that the alliance leader does pick the right ones. And most alliance leaders know that, but trying to convey that then to their individuals, why it's really important that people that are in an alliance actually do some way or another get their alliance points up or help or do their little bit, because it helps every single person, including themselves, even though they don't maybe necessarily realize it. Yeah. So yeah, quickly planning for the next raid cycle. Gut feeling. There are some things that you do need to get, like the ships, which is a good start. What you don't necessarily need to get is, if we go to that load again, you don't need to get everything, because obviously, as you know, there is a TLC coming. And if you're struggling and you want to do a little bit of PvP and a little PvE, um, just get the basic gun for now, if that's what you want to do. Just get the things that you don't have to get multiples of. There are lower versions of like this special here, because I know Ren picked. Oops, not over there. There isn't. There are lower versions over here, basically. He says, like this one here. Look, it's a level 7. It's the explosive casing. It's been in the game for some time. You've probably all got it. Or you'll be getting close to getting it, and it may be one of the chuckaway prizes that don't cost hardly anything at all. And then maybe you could upgrade to a different version later on. So if you do want to go out and get a PvP hull, as well as obviously try and get this fleet together, then get the generic Gatling gun, and then just get a couple of generic specials, and then you can top them up later on if you so fit. It's annoying because you have to do rebuilds, obviously, but sometimes there isn't a huge amount to build, and we've got 2 yards that you can do that as well. I'm still not sure, and if same probably for you, I don't know whether to go with lots of splash, lots of plus spread or less spread. I don't know whether to go with narrow the
Yeah.
spread down, projectile speed. I don't know what to do the last one. I really don't know.
I'm gonna wait to see the target, man. Like I said, I'm gonna put those 3 specials if I have the time. I think the first goal is to get the ships built to the third one. I keep saying that for 3 years in videos now, right? Don't build components on the first pass because it takes longer.
Yeah, absolutely agree. That's the start.
Yeah, and here's my calendar, right? The raid starts today.
Mm-hmm.
The first few points you get, go and redeem the mutineer, and if you planned right, your shipyard right now is idle, or you're going to coin to finish a build that only has a couple hours left in it.
Yep, exactly that. Yeah, and here my chests look ready to go. They're all there.
Yeah, then I was going to get there. So we start the build of the mutineer, and between Wednesday and Friday, when VXP weekend starts, we have 9 days. Each ship takes 4 days, 15 hours if you have the bonuses. So you can already get 2 just with normal time. Now you need to get 4. And for that, if you're smart, as Mark just showed, you're going to have your FM chests at least from last week. At least. And if you do, you're going to get 2 + 1, then 2. And if you save the 1 day, you probably have 6 days of tokens right there, which means you get a third ship just from last week's FM that ended today. Then the raid's over on Tuesday. On Wednesday, another FM starts, and you can get 6 days more, meaning you get the 4th ship right there. No, not a single penny spent. You just need to have saved the tokens from the last FM, use the 9 days of shipyard, and get the tokens from next week's FM, and you get 4 empty shells that you can suicide on the VXP weekend. If you were a little bit smarter than that, you have the chests from last week's FM, but you also have the tokens, most of them from the week before. And now that's enough for you to put some weapons and some specials on all the 4 ships. And then not only you can suicide, but you can do some damage as well and rank cheaper, rank faster.
Yep. 100% agree, mate. Yeah, and just to finish off then, just so people, in case they're interested, this is what I ended up with on my fleet. I'm not doing anything now with these. They'll just go away once we've done this raid, and that's it. So I haven't changed these at all. Obviously, that's the top level Resolver Scattergun. Left those on. There's my 2 specials. I went, MDS freeze, 2 of those there, and obviously, because I've got the MDS freeze on, I went with counter loaders. There are other options, but that's what I went with. Everything else is pretty standard. That's that ship there, and then the rest of them, all four, are all identical, full power. That's what I went with. So I'm one that likes to charge in and kill everything off, that sort of stuff. Everything is obviously ready to go. It's X1, and literally in about 5 minutes when the raid
Yeah.
starts, we'll be up and running, and I'll do a live stream, and we'll see how we get on with the new
I
target.
think I have 3 ships just like yours, just like this one. I have 3 ships like that, and 2 with the CMs. I think we're running the same stuff.
Yeah, and weight was an issue, obviously, to be able to change go down 1 tier for the scattergun, but it was worth it, to be honest. Right, mate. I think that's us. I think we're done. As quick as that. So yeah, look out on the forums. Obviously, there'll be information going up. Kickstarter's Discord as well, TFC page, crib page, that sort of stuff, and various different locations. Like I said, I'm doing the live stream. It will start in 3 minutes' time, so we're going to do a quick switch over and join me. And we'll see how these things look and see what the difference is in the damage and that sort of stuff. Like I said, that's the build. I haven't changed it. I have 12 coins left. Okay. However, the coin deals just come up. If you want a cheap way to get things in the future and you are a coiner, this is the time to buy. It's the time of the month to buy because you get 2,950 for the price of 2,000. And then when the deals come up just before pillage, then obviously you get get this for 199 coins and get 58, 90% off, whatever it is. Then you get a double whammy. Don't buy the cash ones, buy the coin ones because you're getting it twice over. So if you are a coiner,
I think it's like 2,950 for like $119, which is usually the price of like 1,500 coins or even less. So it's the best discount you're gonna get.
Yeah, it was in one of the deals. I can't remember which it was. Offers. I think it's this one here.
It's okay.
I'm not a salesman at all, but there you go. Yeah, that's the one there. 119. I find it cheaper if you don't buy it on Kickstarter's page. You buy it on Facebook, just because there are exchange rates. But in America, it probably doesn't change. But yeah.
No, look at that 119. Right, close that and click on the plus sign there to buy more coins at regular prices.
Yeah.
Close this one. Yeah, just go on the top left in there. Yeah. So with 119. Usually you'd get something like 1,500 coins in between the last two there, right? So you're pretty much getting twice the amount you would normally get for that money.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That's us. We're done. Thanks very much for joining us, guys.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everyone.
Pleasure. All right, then. You take care, and I'll see you out there on the raid. Enjoy yourselves. Good night.
Have fun.